Alright guys, so it's been a few weeks since the last part, and now we have the final part. The top 10 best SML characters, fan edition. However, I met someone earlier, and I feel I should do a collab with them. Introduce yourself, Corson.
Hey guys, your king, Corson Drax, is here.
Oh, but before we begin, I would just like to reiterate that we did not decide the placement of the characters on this list. We did decide what we would say about the characters, but the character placement was decided based on a fan vote. So please don't yell at us if your favorite character doesn't get the placement you like, okay? Alright, let's begin. At number 10, we have Bowser with 5.9% of the vote, and he lost a tiebreaker. Bowser has some very interesting character traits. I mean, who can forget him watching Charlie and Friends, and sitting in his bed, and watching Charlie and Friends, and yelling at Chef Pee Pee, and sitting in his bed. Seriously, this is a fan vote for a reason. I probably wouldn't put Bowser on a list like this solely due to the fact that he doesn't have much in the form of character. He does mainly 3 things. I mean, if he were a human or something, he'd probably weigh about 800 pounds. In fact, that's a great idea. Why doesn't Logan make human versions of the characters for some type of one-time video? It'd be so cool. Maybe in a couple years. Oh, and hopefully by then the movie will be out. I wonder what the people of the future will think of all these great ideas. The people of the future will surely love human versions of these characters. Wait, what? What was that? Anyways, Bowser isn't my favorite character, but he's okay, I guess.
Bowser's a very diverse character. So many new locations we see him in. Like, his room. Oh, and his room. And sometimes his room. He occasionally gets up to go to the bathroom so he can make his Bowser juice. Speaking of that, he has a new product being released called Bowser Milk. What's in it, you ask? Well, it's made of
At number 9, we have Brooklyn Guy with 5.9% of the vote, and he won the tiebreaker. Brooklyn Guy is a decent character. I really like his sarcastic humor, how many jobs he has, and how he seems to overall improve videos whenever he shows up. I don't really have much to add though. Brooklyn Guy is just a good character.
Brooklyn Guy is very much his own character. And by that I mean, nobody else can replicate him. He's got funny, original humor, seems to always have something new going for him, in whichever video he appears, and is overall a really good character. I like how he always throws in his comments during the most serious of situations, and quite possibly generates the most laughter out of all the characters. He helps the plot become more structured when he's around, as there's almost nothing you can't do with his character. He always responds when he's called to help with the situation. Sure, he doesn't always help, but he can make videos turn out really good, or at least save the bad ones from being even worse. He's able to interact with any character and make it turn out really good. Well, almost any. But overall, Brooklyn Guy is a good character, and we can all assume there's more to come.
At number 8, we have Jeffy with 6.1% of the vote. Haha, wow, Jeffy sucks. I can't sugarcoat it. There is some good news though. It seems Jeffy is quickly running out of steam, and I'm hoping that by, say, 2020, Jeffy will be long gone from the channel. I mean, what else would happen? Him being the face of the channel or something? Pfft, talk about ridiculous. And what? Selling merch of this terrible, terrible character? Logan doesn't even sell merchandise. Such a ludicrous idea. Let's hope the rest of 2017 takes us in a good direction.
Jeffy hasn't been good. If anything, he's getting worse. Sure, Logan learned from things like Jeffy's bad word last year, but he still seems to repeat the same jokes, act annoying towards characters that really don't deserve it, and scream. A lot. Sure, Jeffy has the occasional good moment, but the majority of the time, once he seems to be going in a good direction, he'll revert back to himself again shortly after.
At number 7, we have Jackie Chiu with 6.6% of the vote. I really like Jackie Chiu. Yeah, I know, he's the whole Asian stereotype. But he's more than that. Most of the videos he's in are at least somewhat interesting with him around, and he tends to show up sometimes when you least expect it. It makes me kinda sad that as of recent, he's been relegated to the sideline. I know more can be done with him as a character, and hopefully he'll be featured a lot more in the future.
I enjoy Jackie Chiu's character. The plots he's involved in usually turn out pretty good in my opinion. A few examples would be Bowser's Chinese Food, The Fly, and Bowser Jr. Learns Karate. Despite the conclusion of that video not turning out, he has a lot of funny jokes and is really enjoyable. If you aren't easily offended, that is. Like Dub said, his character has a lot more potential, and I hope to see more videos with him in the future.
At number 6, we have Black Yoshi with 6.8% of the vote, and he lost the tiebreaker. Black Yoshi is a character. Luckily, we have lots of videos to work with compared to some of the other characters on this list, and he's been good before. But in terms of recent videos, they're okay. But I feel like most of the videos with him in it recently have been him asking for things and not much else. The videos seem to be going on a downward trend. I don't think, save for maybe a couple exceptions, that they're ever bad, nor will they probably ever be. But I think if Logan keeps sticking with the whole he wants free things angle, the videos will never go above just okay.
Black Yoshi videos seem to be like a hit or miss. They're either really good or really bad. Not really an in-between. He's a funny character and seems to have the most unique and interesting plots out of the crew. Recent Black Yoshi could be better, but he's still pretty good. You'll get the occasional really bad Black Yoshi video, which really disappoints me, as I know his character is good, and a lot better things can be done with him.
At number 5, we have Cody with 6.8% of the vote, who won the tiebreaker. Well, I've said my bit about Cody before. I could pretty much just copy and paste what I said in the part 1 video. Aside from him acting like a smart aleck sometimes, although usually rightfully so, he's actually a decent character. He wasn't always good, with him originally being stereotypical nerd, and I feel from time to time he drifts a bit too close to the gay character. But as it stands, he's not only a more than decent character, I also feel somewhat sympathetic sometimes.
Cody is a cool character to use, as he can invent things that form around the whole plot, which is really convenient if Logan is struggling with ideas. Cody swaps between being super smart and super gay, but will balance out the two, which brings out his character the most. He can be sarcastic, but usually it makes it funnier. He's got funny reactions to certain things as well, such as Junior's constant picking on him. I do sympathize for Cody sometimes though, as it does sometimes go well over the top.
At number 4, we have Chef PP with 8.1% of the vote. So, is it bad I feel sympathetic towards Chef PP? That's mainly where I like him as a character. He's been, usually at best, the servant of other characters, and at worst just flat out downtrodden for how he is. I mean, even when he quits working for Bowser, his life still sucks. He just can't catch a break. I feel bad for how Chef Pee-Pee is treated, but he plays off the other characters well, and that's kinda what gives him his charm.
Chef Pee-Pee is the Squidward of SML. He gets constantly bothered and annoyed despite being a really good character. Chef Pee-Pee seems to be the most relatable of the cast, as he's the easiest to sympathize with. He really doesn't deserve to be treated the way he is, but it's almost supposed to be part of his character, as he is a slave-type chef. The torture towards him does become really hard to watch at times, but nowadays, Logan seems to know where the line is in that regard. Chef Pee-Pee is also really funny when he wants to be, despite being constantly annoyed.
At number 3, we have Bowser Jr. with 8.4% of the vote. Well, had you asked me about this character a while ago, I probably wouldn't have liked him. Jr. had a terrible track record for the longest time, but now he's actually not bad. Frankly, if I had to guess, I'm pretty sure a large chunk of Jr.'s annoying energy was transferred over to Jeffy, a far worse character. I think Jr. is finally at something that could be called decent. Sure, we have a bad video from time to time, but overall, Jr. is really a much better character than he was even just a little while ago.
Recent Jr. has actually been pretty decent. Jr. videos, despite there being a lot of, are usually pretty enjoyable. The magical button is a perfect example of why Jr. can be a good character. The video starts with him being selfish and greedy, but slowly realizes throughout the video what he's done and shows that he has sympathy. It showed the possibility of development involving his character, which didn't go much further in depth, but he developed, not only from that point, but the cycle from early Jr. just being an annoying character that you can't stand, transitioned into him being more tolerable and more mature. He still has his moments, but he's in a good place on the channel now.
At second place, we have Mario with 9% of the vote. Mario, the titular character of Super Mario Logan. And at least right now, he just kinda exists. Mario used to be a lot more prevalent a few years back, especially near the beginning of the channel. Of course, we're not here to talk about just modern stuff from 2017, but also stuff from the past as well. So Mario as a character is pretty good. He's just, well, Mario. He goes on adventures, he's having to deal with all the situations that are thrown at him on said adventures, and then when he isn't on an adventure, things kind of fall apart from there. Don't get me wrong, he's still a decent character, but at that point he's more a character used as a sort of stabilizer for everything else that's going on around him. Not as good as his more adventurous counterpart, but still decent nonetheless.
There's hardly any videos nowadays that even include Mario in the title. Like, is he not meant to be the main character of, you know, SuperMarioLogan? He used to appear all the time, and while still known as the normal character, he's kind of taken on the Squidward role as just another character existing to be annoyed, despite not deserving it. Mario should definitely be used a lot more frequently. He's the glue that holds everything together.
And here we are at number 1, where we have... Wait, really? Shrek? Shrek got 10% of the vote. Okay then, I guess. Here we have Shrek from the hit movie Shrek. Okay, on a more serious note, my thoughts on Shrek have wavered from time to time. He used to be one of my favorites for videos like Baby Shrek, but then he also became one of my least favorites for videos like Shrek's Crappy Wish. So it's really hard to place him. Although, honestly, he doesn't really do much anymore. His character is lacking now, and that's mainly due to how little screen time he gets. I mean, I liked Shrek's Diet, which featured Sausage Shrek, and I thought Shrek the Babysitter was good as well, and The Ring was decent. So I feel that when Shrek is in videos now, even though it's rare, they're good, which is why the couch completely contradicts that point. But oh well, Shrek is a good character most of the time, so I understand why he's at the top of this list, even if I'm not sure I would have put him there.
Shrek is a really good character most of the time, but has his bad moments. Shock value is his main joke, but I feel as if he's a good example of why shock value can be good if done correctly. Obviously Logan goes over the top sometimes, but Shrek's out-of-nowhere moments can be really funny and catch you off guard. It's funnier when you know it's not real, or they don't try too hard to make his, ogre stuff look too real. Shrek is a really good character and has a lot of missed potential as of late. I hope Logan takes him in more of an older route, because in my opinion, that's when Shrek was at his best.
Well, thank you all for watching, and don't forget that this video was decided based on your votes. While we decided what we said, we didn't decide the order of the characters on this list, nor what place they got. Just want to make that perfectly clear so that people don't yell at me again for it. Thank you all for watching, and take care.